It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Okay, so in that same vein, we talked about ride sharing where you're doing rides. There is another type of sharing service that's super popular as a side hustle, and that's delivering food or delivering groceries. Instacart, Grubhub, those types of those types of services where instead of you actually having to go out, go to the grocery store, go to the restaurant, go pick up your food, you can actually have it delivered right to your front door.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the pros and cons with this, the first thing I think of coming out of this pandemic of 2020 is that, well, I'm hopeful we're coming out of the pandemic. Let's hope 2020. I've got a lot of expectations on you, 2020. No pressure.
2021.
I mean, 2021. But it's the first thing is you're helping people. There's a lot of people. Like, I don't want my mother-in-law, who's in her 80s, going everywhere. So it's nice that we can have services like this that help out. So you are helping people. You also, if you're a person, I've heard from every introvert, because I made a comment a few shows ago, and I said, look, this is 2020 was the year that we even showed introverts that they like people. You guys overwhelmingly told me, nope. This has actually been outstanding in the fact that I don't have to interact with people, as much as I normally do. That's what these food deliveries, it's not like where you drive an Uber and somebody like me who's an extrovert gets in and wants to hear about your whole family life. You can have not much interaction at all.
And, I personally, I have two young children, and my wife stays at home with them, and it's difficult to go to the grocery store, right? Like when she takes the kids to the grocery store, there's like arms flying, and we get 16 boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and the things just go crazy. One of the huge people that this helps, I know specifically for us using a shopping service, it's great for like the stay-at-home parents who have the kids, where just a chore like going to the grocery store becomes very, very difficult. This was a huge answered prayer to be able to help make that a little more of an efficient process.
Once again, just like the ride shares, it has make your own hours, low overhead.
Yep.
I thought those were all very powerful things. What's the negatives, Bo? What are some of the things we're not thinking about?
So here's one that we thought about was pretty true. Is you can't control a customer's requests or how busy the store is. So obviously, if you're doing this, you get paid by how many of these you can do. Well, if somebody has this really crazy grocery list that's super esoteric and you're having to find all the like little things that are in the weird, you don't get to control that. You're basically luck of the draw on who you get. And if you go to the store and it's like peak time, it might take you forever to actually get the groceries, get checked out. So you don't have a lot of control over how quickly and efficiently you can do the job.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Once again, just like ride shares, extra wear and tear on your car, so make sure you're taking into account that fixed asset cost, the depreciation from that, and the maintenance that you need to be doing. And then this is something that came up in our show prep, is that, I mean, going to people's front door, dropping stuff off, I can tell you from my past of knocking door to door on things, people have animals.
Sure.
It's kind of scary. Once again, this is something that is just be aware, prepare yourself that when you're going to people's front door, it can, have some
you may not know
things.
the community that you're going into or the part of town you're going into. There's a little bit of an unknown there. So there probably is a risk that you ought to just be aware of. In our research, we found that the average food delivery worker driving for either an Uber Eats or a DoorDash or a Postmates or a Grubhub makes somewhere between $10 to $12 an hour. So that's like ordering food and having food delivered. And then Instacart, which is the grocery service, the average pay for Instacart is about $13 an hour. So again, we wanted to apply some money guy mathematics to it. And we said, okay, what if you can make $11.50 per hour driving for delivery service, whichever one you want to choose. And let's say, again, you work 40 hours per month, so 10 hours per week, then you can save an extra $322 per month towards retirement after taxes, earning 7%. If you do this for 5 years, after 30 years, that 5 years of extra that you did would result in almost $133,000. You will have put in $19,320. And after 30 years, that would add $133,000 to your pot of assets.
It hit me right here on the spot. Another way to also look at the opportunity cost of this is somebody who has, because we know the average credit card debt is somewhere around $7,000.
That's right.
If you made $19,000 and you could have just diminished that credit card debt that much quicker, think about that. If you saved yourself the 18 to 21% interest rate,
it's huge.
That number is huge. So this is if you invested the money, there might actually be some savings if you were using this to extinguish debt. So don't lose out on that opportunity as well.
Absolutely. And so then also we want to throw out there, all right, if we're going to take it a little bit extra, we're going to do something a little bit different. you ought to think about how can you do a financial mutant hack? How can you do this delivery service just a little bit better?
Yeah, and Daniel actually had a great thought. He's like, this is something. First, I think there's better tipping opportunities with the being the personal shopper versus even doing a ride share, because you probably have more ability to have more transactions. Just like a food server is trying to turn tables over as fast as possible to get the tip income, you can do the same thing when you're a delivery person, because you might even be able to double or triple up on who you're shopping for. So you're getting more opportunities, more transactions. And here's something Daniel threw out that I thought was genius. He said he has seen people, he had somebody he dealt with that in their bio, they shared that they were trying to save up for an engagement ring.
That's why they were doing
That's
it.
why they were doing the side hustle. And you got to believe that just putting that little personalization hit a lot of people in a soft spot in their heart, to where maybe instead of, a 15, 20% tip, maybe they're thinking 25 to 30% because they're nudging things up because of the behavior of you just doing that one simple step that the average delivery person is not doing. So look for opportunities to maximize, once again, surge zones, tips, and all the things that making yourself stand out from the pack.